A business meeting of informally employed people is taking place under a bridge, somewhere in a troubled neighborhood of Los Angeles. A guy purchases powder in a bag for $100, but as soon as he tries to apply it to his nasal lining, he realizes that it's just sugar. Whereupon he is kicked to the ground and doused with gasoline. The gang leader mercilessly sets the poor guy on fire. The flames cover the victim from head to toe. The man is brought to the hospital in a serious condition. The doctor informs the victim's wife that things are bad, and it will be difficult to save her husband. He asks her not to bring her daughter to the hospital again. The doctor wonders if they have relatives who could take care of them. The girl in tears replies that she does not, and is about leave, at which point they hear heartbreaking screams from the intensive care unit. A man shouts the name Leon several times.
Leon! Leon!
Meanwhile, in Djibouti, North Africa, a French guy named Leon is serving in the Foreign Legion. The messengers bring him a letter, but before giving it to him, they decided to make a little fun of the lieutenant. However, his bad temper did not take long to reveal itself.
Yeah, Gaultier, that's me.
The frightened messengers leave, and Leon goes to the adjutant with this letter and a request for leave. The letter says that his brother's wife tried to call the unit, but no one told him about it. Leon says his brother's condition is grave and he could die any minute. The adjutant doesn't intend to let the soldier go, reasoning that they are on duty, and the war could start at any moment. He tells Leon not to make things worse, or his last 6 months of service could turn into 6 years. The lieutenant calls the adjutant a bastard, and in order to cool down the soldier's ardor induced by burning sun, the commander orders to put him in a box. 2 sturdy comrades in arms lead Leon to some doghouse and try to push him inside. Unwilling to obey, Leon gets into a fight, as a result of which he manages to buy some time to jump into the car and make a run for it. The soldiers chase after him, but in the evening, they return to the adjutant with bad news because they failed to catch the deserter. To which the adjutant replies,
"You'll never make it. If the barks don't kill him, then the desert."
And orders to send the men to the port just in case, because the sea is the only way out for Leon. The whole night Leon wades through the desert, and only in the morning he reaches the Gulf of Aden. The next day, the legionnaires scout the docks in search of Leon, but the deserter manages to remain undetected.
Hey! Get your ass back down below! Get down to those boiler rooms now!
Leon takes a job as a coalman in the boiler room of a ship on which he has been promised help to get to Los Angeles. In the meantime, the adjutant has arrived to Paris. At a meeting with the minister, he reports on the deserter and says that Leon has probably gone to his sister-in-law in Los Angeles. The man asks to contact the Americans to put out a wanted notice. However, the minister says that he will simply send a letter of recommendation to the Los Angeles police, and if they have time between arresting drug dealers and serial killers, they will probably take up the case. Then the adjutant asks for help in sending his soldiers to the U.S. territory, because they are personally interested in his capture. Meanwhile, the ship with Leon is passing by New York, and has no intention of entering the port. Leon tells his employer,
"And you told me that ship's gonna go to Los Angeles."
What difference does it make?
but the man doesn't want to let the laborer go. He could use some extra free labor. He tells Leon even not to think about leaving the ship. Anyway, he has nothing to do in America without a visa and a green card, and blackmails the lieutenant that he will report his desertion if he disobeys. However, Leon doesn't really care about these problems, and punches his employer in the chest to cool his ardor. Then he dives into the cold water and swims to the city. As he roams through the streets of the city, he wonders where he can get money to get to Los Angeles. All his attempts to reach his brother's wife via phone without any money are also unsuccessful. However, Leon notices a strange gathering under the overpass. He approaches the noisy crowd and sees that they have an underground fight club there, like the one organized by Kimbo Slice in his backyard. The fighters fight for a small reward, and gawkers place their bets with a local lame organizer named Joshua. The winner takes his money and refuses to continue fighting. Joshua calls for new volunteers from the crowd, among which there is Leon, who turned out to be there from financial desperation. The man immediately comes up with a better-sounding nickname for the fighter, Lion. A big man comes out from the crowd as he wants to test the strength of the newcomer. Having perfectly made the opponent lose his balance in an attempt of a hit, Leon throws a couple of punches at him, and then it becomes clear that there are no rules in these fights. Bold punches are thrown at the spinal column with both hands and knee. Thanks to his athleticism, Leon is knocking out his opponent. The fighter takes his reward and leaves.
Hey, wait a minute, man. You didn't give me enough goddamn money, man. Hey, look here, boy. You're a good fighter, boy, but you can't count with the shit, goddamn it. Give me my goddamn money, hey!
The organizer follows him, not wanting to lose a profitable fighter. Over lunch, he learns that Leon wants to get to Los Angeles and promises to help him get there, but asks him to meet someone first. The man takes Leon to some luxurious apartment complex where they are met by a meathead. While Leon stands there not realizing what they are even doing here, Joshua tells the big guy that this young French boy is very good at fighting and should definitely be shown to some Cynthia. The meathead wants to get rid of the annoying guest and asks to call back later. But Joshua stands his ground.
Man, just kick 5 asses. You want to make yours number 6? Okay.
And eventually they are escorted to an underground parking lot where the same fights are taking place. But the spectators' crowd consists of not some simple working men, but the representatives of the social elite. Joshua tells Leon that this is his ticket to Los Angeles. At this moment that very Cynthia comes to them. She is the organizer of these fights, some kind of Dana White in a skirt. The arrogant and bossy girl gets acquainted with Joshua's new mentee, but Leon talks boldly to her because he doesn't like this kind of activity.
I can appreciate a little attitude, as long as he can give them what they want to see.
Cynthia's fighter defeats another opponent, and the organizers offer Leon to put his strength to test here. They come up with a loud nickname for him.
Lionheart.
Few people bet on a newcomer with an inconspicuous appearance. Joshua also places a bet, but since he knows Leon well, he bets on his fighter. In the end, only Joshua and Cynthia bet on Leon. After a short trash talk, the fight ends before it can even start. With a punch to the opponent's groin, Leon won the fight with a technical knockout. One of the spectators, while showing off to his lady, shouted a phrase that he would have easily beaten Leon.
I can kick this guy's ass. See this shit, man?
I know, baby.
But he said it a little louder than he should have. Leon heard him, hence the man got his ass in a sling upon realizing that.
Right now, you and me.
Joshua pulls the guys apart just in time. In the limousine, Cynthia tells Leon to never dare touch her clients again. The girl is interested in such a profitable fighter, since in underground fights, where the audience knows little about the fighters, it is really advantageous to have an unassuming appearance with excellent fighting skills to hoodwink the audience into placing bets. However, Leon states that he has no intention of fighting again. He only wanted to make some money to get to LA and for his first days in the States. Poor attempts in keeping Leon interested with promises of large rewards are unsuccessful.
Stop the car.
The guy gets out of the limo and heads off in search of a flophouse. Cynthia gives Joshua her personal phone number and asks him to work on Leon's recruiting. The limping guy follows the French in an attempt to impose his company. Leon realizes what is going on and offers Joshua some money to get him off his back. Joshua tries to convince Leon that it is not about the money. Supposedly, he just wants to help the poor illegal and asks him not to display cash so visibly in these hoods. This scene is noticed by local lowlife robbers. They surround the guys in a dark back alley. However, Leon and Joshua jointly beat the bandits, who look more like fitness models.
Today's your lucky day, punk. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
This fight slightly unites the buddies. In the cab, Joshua offers Leon to escort him to LA, as he doesn't know the local rules and could easily get into trouble. Leon finally agrees, but on one condition: no talks of fighting. Upon arrival to Los Angeles, Leon heads to the hospital, where he learns that his brother passed away a few days ago. Leon learns from the doctor that the criminals have already been arrested and will be punished. However, the doctor adds that Leon's brother has left his family with huge debts and unpaid bills. The guy in a depressed state drives Joshua away once again.
I don't need you. Just go, okay?
Nevertheless, the experienced Sly Dog doesn't give up and follows the fighter. Realizing that he will not be able to get rid of the annoying companion, Leon asks Joshua to find the house of his sister-in-law.
You have nothing better to do. Find this place. That's the address.
Joshua successfully does that. While going up the stairs, Leon bumps into his brother's daughter. From the conversation, he learns that she is his niece.
My mommy told me not to talk to strangers.
She's right.
They also hear a landlord shouting at Helene, by the way, that's the name of the sister-in-law, for $400 debts on the top floor and threatening to evict her next week. The girl brings Leon to her mother and asks her,
Is he a stranger?
Nicole, go inside and draw with your crayons. Just for a minute, honey.
During their conversation, Helene blames Leon for all the troubles, for being late when she asked him to visit his brother before he died, as well as for helping him to avoid jail by taking the blame some time ago.
If you had just kept your mouth shut and let him go to jail.
He was not enough strong to be in jail. It would have killed him.
Streets that you left him on are what killed him.
The girl chases Leon away.
You and Nicole, we family. You my only family.
He tries to help her with money, but Helene refuses to accept it. In the meantime, the Legionnaires are already monitoring Helene's location, but miraculously, they failed to catch Leon. When Joshua notices that the guy is in a bad mood, he takes him to a bar in order to unwind. They tell each other about themselves. It turns out that Joshua used to be a good fighter too, until Cynthia threw him to the mercy of a fiend who maimed him. Having drunk enough, Leon even managed to flirt with a local hottie. After the bar, Joshua takes him to a luxurious apartment and tells him that it belongs to an acquaintance of his who is now out of town. Leon falls asleep in his clothes on the bed. Leon wakes up in the morning to the creaking of the exercise machine. It turns out that this is Cynthia's apartment. The girl came to persuade the fighter. She ordered the servants to burn his clothes, after which they went shopping for new ones. In the process, Cynthia by all means tries to take Leon under her wing by seducing him and buying him expensive clothes. After wandering around the neighborhood and seeing a huge number of homeless people, including a little girl of the same age as his niece, Leon realizes that in this country, his loved ones can easily find themselves in the same situation. This makes him agree to the fights, and the guy asks Cynthia for one more favor. He needs to open a bank account for a non-existent person. He also says that he doesn't want to live in her apartment, as he will be a fighter now, and therefore he should live like a fighter, not like a padishah in luxurious mansion. Finally, he gets his first fight in Los Angeles organized. His opponent is a Scotsman in a kilt, who stretched out his hand as a greeting and sneakily poked Leon in the eye, getting an advantage in the fight. Due to that happening, the fight turned out to be very difficult and exhausting for Leon, but he eventually managed to win. In the end of the fight, he dragged the Scotsman to the car of his managers and brutally beat the shit out of him in front of them. The Legionnaires settle into the apartment right next to Helene's location. At that moment, Joshua comes to her disguised as an insurance agent. He tells her a legend invented by Leon that her husband supposedly had a secret insurance account for unforeseen emergencies. So, now she will be receiving a tidy sum every month. Her daughter asks Helene,
Does this mean I can have a bike?
Helene can't believe that her financial misery is now over. Joshua leaves and asks Helene just for one thing.
Just do me one little favor. I know it's something that he would have wanted.
What is that?
Give the little girl a bike.
Meanwhile, Leon's popularity among betting fans is growing as he defeats opponents of different weight classes and styles, from wrestlers to representatives of outlandish styles such as capoeira. The odds are now in Leon's favor, and consequently, the results of his fights are becoming more and more predictable. One day, while jogging, Leon decides to see how his relatives are doing. Seeing his niece on a bicycle from afar, the guy breathes with a sigh of relief. However, at that moment he is spotted by the Legionnaires.
He's here, downstairs.
They chase after him, but while they were leaving the building, Leon had already fled. The next day, Cynthia tries to find out from Joshua who Helene is and why she gets all the Leon's money.
Is he f***ing her?
Cynthia, you want hard, cold, sick you know that?
I asked you a question.
Bitch, the man don't even step inside her apartment. She don't know where the damn money's coming from.
In the end, the girl orders the man to make sure that Leon continues to fight. For that, she gives Joshua some money. When Joshua leaves, Cynthia orders her assistant to keep an eye on them. During another run, Shao Kahn follows Leon, who decided to stop this time and have a little chat with his niece. His comrades in arms take advantage of this time gap and surround the guy. He asks them to give him just a week to earn more money for his family, and then he will surrender himself to them.
Just give me 1 week to get the money for them.
Your time was up in the desert.
Of course, such an arrangement doesn't suit them and they corner him. During the fight, Mustafa breaks Leon's ribs, but Leon manages to knock the men out by dropping a dovecoat on them. At that moment, Cynthia's man pulls up and helps the guy get out of the place. The doctor says Leon's ribs are broken and he needs to stay home for a month or so.
You need karate lessons, man. That way nobody will mess with you.
The guy gives him some money and asks him not to spread the word about his injury. In the evening, Joshua comes to Helene and admits that there was no insurance. He invites Leon and says that this guy is ruining his health for her family. Finally, Leon gets a chance to explain his situation.
Mommy, is he
No, honey. This is your Uncle Leon, your daddy's brother.
I knew you weren't really a stranger.
They move Helene and her daughter to a new apartment and stock up on groceries. Leon also asks the girl not to go to work. Meanwhile, Cynthia has brought the Legionnaires to her place. They are watching a fight of a German fighter named Attila. His main trick is to let his opponents swing their fists a lot so that they start feeling superior in fight. Then he starts to destroy his opponents, and at the end of the fights he performs his signature fatality, literally tearing the fighters apart. After watching the footage, Cynthia tells the Legionnaires not to touch Leon before the fight. Once Attila mutilates him, she will give them the worked up Leon or what's left of him by that moment.
As soon as Attila is finished ripping him apart.
The men like this deal and agree on one condition: they will have front seats to see all of this. Cynthia brings Leon to some other fat cats who are regulars at the sweepstakes. She hands them some strange box, I guess it's kind of flash drive or something, with footage of Attila's fight. But the recording lasts only until the moment when Attila enters the fight. Eventually, all they see is Attila being miserably beaten, not even returning back any punches.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm not too impressed.
So no one has doubts that Leon is the man to bet on in this fight. To spur the men on even more, Cynthia says she will bet $250,000 on Leon herself. A few days later, Attila arrives in LA on a private jet with his Persian cat. Meanwhile, the betting is going big at some expensive estate. Before the fight, Joshua stops by Leon's place to cheer the fighter up a bit. He accidentally lightly pokes Leon's injured ribs, causing him to twist in pain. Joshua is shocked that he kept the injury in secret, not letting him know.
You been hiding something all week long. What's going down, man?
Nothing.
Nothing, huh? Nothing?
The man rushes to Cynthia in an attempt to find who she bet on, but she evades the question by showing him the odds.
Who you betting on?
Look at the board. I'd say the wind's definitely blowing in our direction.
That's who you betting on.
Why? Having any last-minute doubts about your boy?
Joshua realizes that there is something fishy going on. He comes up to the bookers, and after much hesitation, makes his bet. The moment has come. Leon enters the tent, and upon seeing the Legionnaires in the front rows, realizes that they are in cahoots with Cynthia. This has dampened his morale a bit. The fight begins. Attila, in his usual way, lets Leon show his punches to get the crowd excited. Then, Attila bashes him in the liver and realizes from Leon's reaction that he has an injury there. With the audience enjoying the show to the fullest, Attila begins beating Leon. During another knockdown, Joshua crawls over to Leon and asks him not to get up, recalling his history of being crippled for life. Leon says he can't give up since they bet all the money on him. With all the strength left in him, Leon gets up only to get dozens of crushing blows again. It's a sight that makes even his comrades in arms uncomfortable. To stop Leon from crippling himself for money, Joshua confesses that he has bet all his money on Attila and will give half to Leon if he surrenders. It can be seen that the man really doesn't care about money this time now, but he cares about his friend's health. However, these words make Leon fly into a rage.
Wrong bet.
Leon rises up, and now really with his final strength left in him, he wins the most difficult and stunning fight with the support of the audience, including the Legionnaires. Cynthia's meathead, who was trying to motivate Attila, also gets his fair share of kicks. The girl seems about to have a tachycardia due to the unexpected turn of events. The Legionnaires take Leon away. Joshua apologizes for not believing in him. Leon just hugs his friend and asks him to take care of his family.
Oh, Cynthia, darling, I just wanted to thank you for such wonderful advice.
Cynthia tries to make a quick getaway to avoid paying for the loss, but security finds her and leads her to the bookies. Leon says goodbye to his family. His niece tearfully doesn't want to let the guy go. He says he will never forget her, but he has no other choice. The comrades in arms hear this touching parting, then put him in the car and take him away. However, after driving a few meters, the car stops and the Legionnaires let Leon go.
Get out. Good luck.
The joyful guy runs to his family. Interesting fact, Nicole, the niece in this movie, was portrayed by Ashley Johnson, who may be familiar to you from the series The Last of Us, where she played Anna Williams. And yes, I know what VHS is, it was just a joke.